Hello there, I'm Fergus Cook. I'm the minister at Blackhall St Columba's Church. Before we begin the all-age address for today, I have a very special hello to say to Daniel and Lucas. Hello guys, it's great to see you. I hear you've been enjoying the magic and some of the stories. I look forward to the time where we can see one another in church and we'll get to know one another better. Thanks. I hope you enjoy this story too. For the rest of you, if any of you would like me to say hello to you, then get your mum and dad to contact me and give me your names and I'll try to say hello to you as well. So, today I have a story to tell you. I have a story that Jesus told to his disciples, the people that followed him. And then after telling you the story, I'm going to try and explain it to you a wee bit. So, the story is about when Jesus was comparing what he was like to his followers. He said, I am like a shepherd and you are like sheep. And he was trying to explain what that meant. So I'm going to read a bit from the Bible, from the Gospel according to John at chapter 10, and it's called The Shepherd and His Sheep. And Jesus said, the one who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. The man who guards the door opens it for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep using their names, and he leads them out. He brings all of his sheep out. Then he goes ahead of them and leads them. They follow him because they know his voice, but they will never follow a stranger. They will run away from him because they don't know his voice. Jesus told the people this story, but they did not understand what it meant. So the people back then didn't understand what Jesus meant by that story. So I'm going to try to explain to you what it means. I wonder if any of you out there have a pet. Maybe you've got a pet dog or a pet cat. Some of you might have a horse or a pony or all sorts of animals. Most people who have pets give them a name. They give them a name. I used to have a dog. I've got a photograph of that dog. Let me show you. That's a photograph of my dog who was called Bertie. Bertie was a lovely wee Cocker Spaniel and we got her when she was 8 weeks old. She is now working for the police as a police dog. She's a sniffer dog. So that's Bertie, and we called her by her name. And if Bertie, when we were training her, ran near a road, we would call her and she would come running to us and we would call her away from danger. And when it was time for her to eat, we would call her name and Bertie would run and she would come and we would feed her. Sometimes my girls used to like to play with her and pet her and clap her, and they would call her name and Bertie would run over to them. She knew our voices and Bertie knew that whenever we called her, we were calling her to give her love and attention and affection. And she would come to us and she would ignore other people when they were out walking their dogs. Even if you don't have a pet, you know what your mum and dad are like. Your mum and dad will call for you. Your grandparents will call for you. They'll call your name. And you know that when they call you, you know their voice and they're calling you for something good usually. They're calling you to feed you or to give you love and attention, or they're calling you to come away from some danger. And that's what Jesus was saying, that when he calls to us like his sheep. He calls to us because he loves and he cares for us. And he wants us to follow him because he is wanting us to enjoy life and to live life the way God wants us to. So we need to learn what Jesus' voice is like. We need to learn to recognize the voice of Jesus so we know when we hear it, we can go and we can follow that. And Jesus speaks to us through the words of the Bible. We learn about that in Sunday school. We learn about it from our parents and from our grandparents. And we learn what Jesus said. And Jesus teaches us to be kind to other people and to be loving to other people. And that's a great message. And that's what was really behind what Jesus was saying when he said, I am the shepherd, and the sheep know the voice of the shepherd, and they follow him. I hope you liked the story, and I hope you now understand a little bit better what Jesus was meaning when he was talking about calling people and them following him. It's like when you call your pet and you want to give it love and attention and have good things happen for your pet, or for when your mum and your dad or your grandparents call you and they're trying to look after you and give you love and attention. That's what it's like when God calls us. He wants the best for us. I hope you have a great week, and I hope to see you next week. God bless, and bye-bye.